Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Webinar Wednesdays with Encon Electronics. Today we have Matt Rupard from FAAC and Viking Access Controls, and he is going to be taking us through a couple of products. Most notably, on my side, is the new i770, which is the direct replacement for the Viking i8 in-ground operator. So we'd all really like to get to know about that and see the changes and differences in these machines and be ready to move forward with these. That being said, we're going to go ahead and get started today. All right, Matt, take it away, sir.
All right, sounds good. So I'm Matt. You guys can see FAAC in the background. FAAC purchased Viking last year, and we've been working on the integration. So I'm your FAAC, Viking, and magnetic rep. Some of you may know me from the FAAC side. So some people get nervous with a transition like that. FAAC has purchased a decent number of companies, and we follow through with keeping the company relatively the same how it is. So as we kick that off, you'll see some of our integration with that. So, and we will get to the i770. I'll go through some changes. One of the things I always like to highlight about Viking is everybody's really looking for app control of your gates. We've got an accessory that you can purchase for Viking, which is the Viking monitor. It's really very close to plug and play. You plug it in on the control board, you use your cell phone to connect to the local Wi-Fi. It's inexpensive, and you'll see the flash drive on the right, and I'll get into that more as we go. Real quick, this will be here for review later, the technical stuff on what you're looking for ahead of time. To make sure that the monitor works on your system. This is the app. There's no charge for the app. You plug in the monitor, you get it connected to the Wi-Fi, and you can see very easily and friendly, you can see what model of machine you have, and you just slide those buttons across, like the open, the stop, the close. So if somebody wanted to stop their gate halfway for some reason or partway, you can do it. You can see the current status. So that's going to show you the position the gate's in. So if you're like, did I shut the gate before I left? Or you can open your app and it'll say open, it'll say closed, it'll say stopped. Stopped means it's not opened or closed. You also have your diagnostic screen and your history screen. Those are more useful for the homeowner as they get used to the operator. But let's say that you want to know the history as an installer. And you don't have the app, obviously, the homeowner's going to have it. One nice thing with Viking is we have the flash drive on the bottom left there that plugs into the monitor. You take that out and plug it into a laptop, and you're going to be able to filter, to search, to look at when the time frames are. We've had people catch that power's gone out, right? They go, hey, why are my batteries dead? Well, the monitor gives you a tool to be able to go back and troubleshoot that, hey, did you know your power's shutting off at this time every day? Or, maybe you're seeing the operators pulling more amperage as it's running. You're going to look at on a slider, your wheels, your rollers, and see, hey, maybe you've got a bearing going out that's maybe been missed on maintenance. So nice price point, gives you app control of the gate, which a lot of people want. And it's a feature that can be added later. So you can sell a Viking operator without the monitor, saying that at any point, if you want app control, you have it. The next thing to go over is the E4. We made some changes with the E4 after we purchased Viking. We upgraded some stuff on the control board and on the arm to have it operate smoother. It's a great entry-level electromechanical swing gate operator. You can see the capacities here, your 2-year warranty. Viking is really big on surge suppression on all of our boards. A lot of redundancy in that, so you get more longevity out of your control boards and less likely to have a problem with lightning strikes. On the control board, this is the difference from the V-Flex. The E4 control board is its own control board. One board is master secondary, so you don't have to order a separate part number. You're going to see that we added the convenience outlet. We added the FAAC radio receiver in the enclosure on the top left. That's a 2-channel radio receiver. So if you want to control something separate on a channel, you have it. You have your monitor inputs for your safeties. We do operate on 10K for our monitored safeties. So there's a wealth of operators that were tested with ETL listed for 10K monitored safeties that you can use. Additionally, on the bottom right here, we're using the FAC remotes, and these do say FAC on the PhotoWise right now on the through beam. In a month or two, as we catch up to some of the COVID delays, these will say Viking on them. So you know the Viking PhotoWise is the 10K. Don't purchase, if you purchase through Viking, we have limited spare parts right now outside of the kits on the PhotoWise. But you can get the PhotoWise with the 10K in it, and these are good up to 100 feet. So through beams, very consistent, especially ocean areas, really windy areas, where your climate may affect your range on a reflective PhotoWise. A through beam PhotoWise is going to be much more consistent. And it's very easy to program the board. You'll see as we get to the operator, there's stops on the machine. So just 2 wires to the motor, manual release on it. You can see on the bottom right, the top cover slides up, and in the center, you'll see that there's a level installed for your installation. Makes it a little easier. You don't have to grab your level out, just a little convenience item. And you can see that the positive stops front and back, and we'll get another picture underneath, for setting your limits on your operator. So you're not going to see as much wiggle room at the end of travel with the operator. Then on the V-Flex, again, I'm not going to read everything on here, but you have your screen, your display. You can go through programming very easy. You can go through a lot of diagnostics on your battery voltage, your amp draw. You can add your multiple devices. UL is going to monitor in both directions. Reopen is like your closing safety. It's going to reverse the gate open. Again, it's a 10K. Lots of surge suppression on the board. And this is the board that's going to be used across all of the other operators except for the E4. Again, I'll just pause here for a second, just so that if people are reviewing after, you can see what your accessory power is, what the monitoring is, the other things that we have down here. On the frame design on these operators, there is a lot of room. So if you're landing your conduits, you're doing a retrofit, they really designed Viking to be easy to install. Most installers in the industry can install the Viking operators without looking at them at the manual. We would prefer that you do for the right mounting geometry and stuff, but really they're intuitive, pretty normal for what we do on normally open safeties with the 10K. And you can see the design and footprint's the same. The control board is the same. There's some variances on a replacement, like an H10 has a bigger fuse in it, so we have a different part number, but it's still all the same programming on the V-Flex. And on the right-hand side of the slider there, you'll see that on the commercial industrial operators, it includes the loop rack, so you can just wire your loops to it and plug in your loop detector just for convenience. On the residential models, you can add the loop rack, but we don't throw it in as a default. Some more selling points here. Another thing on the commercial industrial, over the residential operators, the power box is removable. So if you have a job site where you already have one conduit from the house or from the building out to the gate operator location, instead of having to rip everything up and trench for your high voltage conduit, you can remove the power box, put it in the building, and then just run all your low voltage operator in the all your low voltage wire for the operator in one conduit out to the machine. So again, you may be able to save on permits. You're definitely going to save on time and labor. We did that as a convenience item. The box really just slides out. We give you the wire gauge in the manual. Our tech support can back it up as well in helping you on knowing what wire gauge at what distance to run out there. So this is our, just in one kind of clean slide, our full gate range of slide gate operators, K2, L3, H10, Q7. You have your weight ratings under them there with your equivalent horsepower. These are brush DC motors. If you run a brushed motor, they can be very efficient and last a long time. If you ever do replace the brushes for some reason, you want to make sure you don't touch the brush with your hands. That's a mistake some people do. The oil from your hands makes the brushes wear prematurely. Viking previously had some operators that were going through brushes very, very quickly. They diagnosed it, saw the change, changed brush manufacturers and composition, and now we're seeing a good longevity, and that change was made a couple years ago. So you're not seeing repetitive service calls changing out brushes, and that was just changed across the board. So there isn't you aren't going to get something that needs new brushes. We have 100 cycles on battery backup, 100% duty cycle, and then you can just see your warranty varies. One thing people do on an upsell, a K2 over an L3, definitely you can remove the power box if you want that for the low voltage. The other thing that some people do is if you're getting closer to your 700-pound limit and the customer says, I want a little bit more, you can go to the L3. It's commercial, but you also get a bonus 2-year residential warranty. So that can be a nice upsell to the customer, might make them feel more comfortable. And then of course we have the H10, the Q7 pulling 2,200 pounds and 7,000 pounds. Very similar slide here on the pad mount swing gate operators, R6, F1, T21. Same upsell potential from the R6 to the F1 on the additional warranty, and then again removable power box on the F1 and T21. The T21 also on your heavier gates, you may get wind load or forcing action. We have a pin you can remove on the clutch hub at the top that's going to lessen the chance in those extreme situations and maybe abuse situations of damaging your gearbox. And you can see F1, T21, they have the loop rack installed right there. All 3 of them, again, like all the operators in Viking, include battery backup, and you're sitting at 400 cycles on battery backup, 100% duty cycle on all your units. Oh, something's missing from my slide there. Let's see. Oh, all right. My picture on my i770 disappeared, but we'll go into that. So more your specialty line, we already went over the E4. Then you have the G5, the i770, and the X9. The G5 has been around for a long time, couple revisions, very dependable machine. We have the Viking did add a positive stop on the into travel, a collar. So on super windy gates or force gates, it hits the limit and then you have a positive stop collar you can set. That can alleviate a lot of recalls, but some people still aren't aware of it. You can see your 3-year residential warranty, 2-year commercial. And on the V-Flex board here, if you're doing master secondary, you order the enclosure as master secondary. And you can see there's an expansion board on the left there for your second operator. We do also offer on this line of operators a second big box. It'll hold 2 35 amp hour batteries. So if you're wanting to do solar or you just want more battery backup, you have an option with our enclosure where you can fit the 2 batteries in. The X9, this is great for reach around, for gates with bigger columns. You mount the operator right to the column, very similar to the FAAC 390. And this is commercial rated, continuous duty as well as residential. You have limit switches on the operator for your open and your close. Master secondary as well, all the same board. Just as a diagram, as an example, you can see here how you can swing the gate. And just a heads up, you know, we'll show things in the manual that say, hey, don't do this, like we have on the top left, just watching out for your arm angle. But a nice option when a pad mount isn't going to fit, maybe a linear operator like the E4, G5 doesn't fit because of the depth of the column. You can put the 390 on there, still be, the X9 on there, still be small and sleek. So this one we'll spend a little more time on. This is the i770. So this is the replacement for the Viking i8. The i8 was always a copy of the FAAC 770. And with us being one company, there wasn't a reason to continue down the road with the i8. So we've kitted this one like we did the E4. So you're going to have a single kit and a dual kit. The single kit is shown here. You have the V-Flex board. It's of course going to be in the enclosure, a set of photo eyes, 2 transmitters, and a radio receiver. And then you're going to have the i770, which is going to be about the same as the i8. You have your load bearing box. One difference is you're going to have more precision on your open positive stop. If you look at the operator in the box right there, you're going to see some extra bolts, if you're familiar with the i8, around the shaft that rotates. One of those is a closed stop on the left. You can't really see the open stop, but it bolts into the box as well. So you can be very accurate in your open and your closed positions. We also have a stainless steel load-bearing box option. On the i8, it's not a complete discontinuance. So people that already have i8s in the field, they say, hey, what's going to happen? I need a new motor. The i770 does not bolt straight into the i8 box. So what we do is we have replacement stock. So you're not going to just be high and dry, hey, we bought them and that's no longer there. We're supporting the product that was in the field as well as transitioning to the i770. Another benefit, you know, we talked about, you're getting the photo eyes, the radio receiver, the transmitters, the positive stops come with it all under one part number. It's also a little bit less than the i8 was. So you're getting more at a little bit lower cost. Again, the V-Flex board is going to handle the operator. You have your speed control, your force adjustment, your automatic slow down as you're programming. It's still 2 wires to the motor. It's going to feel very similar. Like I said, the i8 was a copy of the 770 anyway. So you have the history and support of FAAC behind it. The Viking techs are very familiar with it. It really isn't much of a change. And that's pretty much it. If there's questions, I like to put this banner up. We're FAAC. We purchased Magnetic back in 2012, and we also have Viking. If there's any questions, we can go over questions. I know that was quick, but I do like to reiterate. There isn't a lot to go over on tech support with Viking. We've got 10K monitored safeties. You pretty much plug them in and you're good to go. You can, programming is just 2 buttons on the control board. And then we have our LCD display on the operator that's going to help you with troubleshooting with what's going on. One thing on the monitor, on plugging that flash drive in, you guys can read what's going on the history. You can also email that file to our tech support and they will go over that as well. And we've integrated the Viking tech support the same way as FAAC and Magnetic. So you will see a change when you call in for tech support. 1 is now tech support, 2 is sales, because that's consistent. Before it was reversed. And the techs are taking 1 call at a time, following it all the way through, and then getting to the next call. That's a bit of a change. Previously, Viking had to answer every call within 2 minutes, which meant they were putting the calls that they were on hold a lot. So if there isn't necessarily a right way, but we felt like it was more streamlined to stay consistent and to walk you through your call all the way without putting you on hold a bunch of times in the process. Warranty on G5, that is a 3-year residential, 2-year commercial warranty. Now I know that's a little quick for our time. If there's any other questions, we can go over them. I'll double check on the warranty on the G5 then, David, sorry. Your cut sheet says 4-year. I may have an old slide. 4-year residential, 3-year commercial. I'll double check and get back to you on that.
Okay, well, it looks like we do not have any more questions right now. So I want to thank Matt for his time and effort to put this together. We really appreciate it. This has been recorded. It will be on the website in probably a day, along with all of the others. You know, we do a little bit of editing to make sure it's all clean, get my mistakes off of there, hopefully. Anyway, thank you all for joining us for Encon's Webinar Wednesday. Next week, same station, same date, same time. We have Door King Ron Miller will be presenting about meters, how to use your meters. So join us for that. And with that, thank you again, Matt. Thank you everyone for joining us, and have a great day.